such kind of restrictions. You know, Kishore Kumar's songs were banned from All India Radio because he criticized the emergency.
I did
He
know
was
that.
banned.
किशोर कुमार जी को इमरजेंसी के पक्ष में न बोलने के कारण आपातकाल में उनको भी निकाल दिया गया था.
There was a Turkman Gate incident where hundreds and hundreds of people were forcibly sterilized, all Muslims. All of these excesses of emergency took place under your family's watch.
I can, as a viewer, ask you questions. Where are the Muslims, impactful Muslims in BJP?
I ask a counter question. The Congress from 1950s, how many percentage of Muslims were MPs in Congress at that time? Nayab Saini, currently Haryana Chief Minister, OBC, Chief Minister in Odisha, Chief Minister in Chhattisgarh, they are from the tribal community. The BJP has made more people from the subaltern community, as political scientists would put it, than the Congress has. And yet the Congress today is claiming to be the great champion, and BJP is supposed to be anti-OBC after having an OBC as the Prime Minister.
The AI, which is coming in now, absolutely powerful for news dissemination. It is left-coded, they say. Is it a fact or not?
That there has been a bias in favor of certain narratives which are left-leaning in the ecosystem of social media. The Congress party, did it ever make 15% Muslims MPs? When is the last time the Congress party made a Muslim chief minister of a non-Muslim state?
A Pune-based lawyer, an LLB graduate, national spokesperson for BJP, a political star, and quite the commentator. I welcome Shehzad Poonawalla to Shweta's Talkies today. He's so hectic. He has shown up with 3 phones, something which I don't know what he's researching. It's a full 2 kg bag. But welcome to Shweta's Talkies, Shehzad.
Thank you,
Thank you
Shweta,
for coming.
inviting.
I have been waiting to do this for a while.
I can imagine it's a little difficult because, you know, we are in the midst of celebrating or, you know, observing our 11 years in service. And it's 1 year to Modi 3.0. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of good things that we are putting out there, which we've done in the last 1 year for the country. So it becomes a little hectic, but there's always time for.
What is the kind of responsibilities do you bear? And what is the kind of the level of research and fact checking you have to do?
Well, you see, I say hectic from your point of view. I don't say it from my point of view. I enjoy it, actually. So the thing is that, I mean, the regular day starts at around 6:30 in the morning and ends at around 11:30, 12 in the night. And throughout the day, one should be attuned to what is happening, and therefore, as you said, there are 3 phones. So I'm constantly abreast with whatever is happening.
What kind of a responsibility do you mentally put together before you start speaking? Is it a discipline that you do, or is it, are you reacting?
Well, the only discipline is that, look, I'm not there to win a debate or lose a debate. It's, you know, many people approach debates like you have to win the debate. And then what happens is that they go to any extent, including getting personal. The idea is to communicate your point of view clearly, effectively, truthfully, and with facts. And the more dignified your response is, the deeper it goes. That's the experience I've had. And invariably, you may lose an argument on television, but as long as you don't lose your cool, you keep the audience or you keep the people on your side. Yeah, but I think...
But that's essential, while are you having a debate if you can't combat? I mean, not hand to hand, but...
No, but sometimes what is happening is that it indulges in too much of personalized comments on people rather than on the issues. And I am also sometimes, you know, indulging in it. So I do regret that, but you know, it's become the format where people are given just 20 seconds, 30 seconds to respond, rather than give a person adequate amount of time to respond. I think people are switching on to podcasts because this format has run its course.
I think people might be switching to you also because there is such lack of humor on on the TV.
Oh, really?
And I find you quite funny. I mean, it's actually, I love sarcasm. I just love it. Yours comes out combative and sarcastic, right? We call it.
Some people don't take it very kindly.
But that's their problem, isn't it? Like, I mean, don't switch on the TV, isn't it? Like, you be you. If you don't like receiving it, don't receive it, right? Correct. If you had a media house by yourself and you are giving content, you've been through the experience back, front and all, what would Shehzad's content house, how would it tackle debates of national interest? What kind of how would you do this? In your debates, I always see your face when you come up with it's a discussion about something serious, and somebody from the other side, and what about this, and what about that? You know, those debates where you never really get to the point. The common consensus when people look at you is he can be a bit abrasive or blunt. My question is, A, what's wrong with it? Second, are they uncomfortable that you're abrasive and blunt, or you're uncomfortable, abrasive and blunt from the right wing?
I don't think, I mean, look, sometimes the only way to disarm somebody who's making a stupid point is to just humor them, or is to target them with a little bit of funny statements. So I guess that is what I deploy, because there's no way on earth you can answer queries that have no basis. So that's why sometimes I use humor, but I mean, that is just something, because there's not enough time to unpack their lies.
I understand.
Yeah. There's just not enough time to kind of, go into all the details. So therefore you just, and also sometimes the statements that Rahul Gandhi makes, I mean, he says, for instance, that मेरी पार्टी में कुछ घोड़े रेस के घोड़े हैं, कुछ लंगड़े घोड़े हैं, कुछ बारात के घोड़े हैं. What are you going to say to that, except to say that गधों की पार्टी में घोड़े ढूंढ रहे हैं? So
today we're sitting in 2025. How has internally Shehzad come far as a spokesperson?
I don't know. I think people should decide that.
Let them decide that. What do you think about your personal growth? I've seen you.
I don't measure growth by these number of debates or being spokesperson or etc. etc. Growth is not a function of pad; it's a function of kad. So how seriously you are taken, how much people resonate with what you say, and what kind of impact you leave on people. Because the BJP also puts a premium on conveying facts and conveying them with a sense of dignity and responsibility. So, I mean, many people think that, it's very glamorous to be BJP spokesperson, or it is very easy to be a BJP spokesperson. Actually, because we are a party which has been governing the country for the last 11 years, the onus of responsibility is on us. So we have to be more measured, more tempered, and more factual.
I second. Personal milestones. If you had made any for yourself, have you crossed a few, and do you have more planned for yourself?
No, personal milestones, look, where I'm very uncomfortable talking about all this, because I've not come into this for some personal gain.
I know that.
The idea of coming into politics is to do something for society. And when I lost my father at a young age, we didn't have any family background in politics. I've, people have seen my journey. First, I was in the Congress, where I used to take a bus and come to the party office. We had very frugal means, so whatever one could save up and then come to Delhi and work for the party or work for the country. One used to do that, and now that the BJP has given me an opportunity, I continue to do that. So I think the fact that I have got an opportunity to contribute to the great work that Prime Minister is doing in my own little way, I think that in itself is a great sense of satisfaction for me.
And this came from two of our viewers. I'm just going to read it out. In a landscape where narratives are often reactionary, what's that one unpopular opinion you have held, but you've been proven right every time?
I think about how Rahul Gandhi lacks any kind of merit. So when I used to say it back in the Congress party, I was in the party, I used to tell people that Rahul is not cut out for the job. And a lot of people would humiliate me. They would say that you think you're bigger than Rahul Gandhi, you have no understanding of politics, this is the first family, this family has done so much for the country, how can you even think of this? And I used to keep telling them that even if their family has done something or not done something, the people of India have already rewarded them by making them Prime Minister several times. But a political party is not somebody's fiefdom, it's not somebody's jagir. And the Congress party, if it has to revive or it has to be in existence, then it needs leadership that is connected with the ground, that is connected with people. And Rahul Gandhi is not cut out for politics. At that time, obviously, when the UPA was in power and I was in the Congress, I used to be sidelined for it. People kind of did not give me my due. They used to have these campaigns against me. They would block me from going into media and speaking. They would actually tell the channels not to call me, not to invite me for discussions and debates, even as a panelist or as a legal expert. So that kind of targeting used to take place. Then, of course, I took a stand against Rahul Gandhi becoming president in the party. And at that time also I said that till the time Rahul Gandhi controls the party, this party will not come to power. And I think so many years down the line I've been proven right. A lot of my colleagues who used to kind of tell me at that time that I'm party ka and parivar ka gaddar, they have now joined BJP. So I think that is also
घर वापसी उनकी हुई आपकी हुई है?
नहीं उनकी घर वापसी तो कैसे हुई? उनकी तो मुझे लगता है कि they have been able to kind of go back on their own assessment about me, and they have come to a conclusion that what I was saying was right all along, and that those who used to first think that I was wrong are now completely in agreement with the positions I take. So I think that is a vindication for me.
You've seen both the sides. Huh? You've seen behind the camera, in front of the camera. For me, you're a fairly logical, erudite debater. In that noise, and I don't watch the news every day, then okay, hold, what is he saying now? It's a great compliment for someone who doesn't want to, doesn't consume herself or himself with news and just want to know the fact. How has the nature of opposition, of the handling of the incumbent, any incumbent, changed then from now? What is happening? I'm not talking about one party. I'm talking about the opposition. It used to be, earlier days, they used to be very, very well, it was more cultured, more dignified, whether it's in the parliament or in front of the camera. What has contributed to this?
Well, there's a prasang in Mahabharata, which is basically Paraspar virodhe tu vayam panchashate shatam, and Paraste vigre prapte vayam panchadhik shatam, which means that Yudhishthir tells Kauravas that when we are fighting against each other, that time we are 5 versus 100. But when we are fighting an external force, we are not 5 versus 100, we are panchadhik shatam. That means we are 105. This sense of putting national interest above party interest, of Desh Hit above Dal Hit, used to be there, and it was very prevalent when especially leaders like Vajpayee ji were in the opposition. You never heard Vajpayee ji ever berate Jawaharlal Nehru or Indira Gandhi ji. Yes, of course, they were fierce rivals, but when it came to putting nation first, Vajpayee ji complimented and praised Indira ji. He never called her Durga, but he praised Indira ji after 1971. We've seen that Vajpayee ji led a delegation to United Nations when Narasimha Rao ji was the Prime Minister to ensure Pakistan is exposed at the global platform. And at that time, you would never hear other statements coming from other BJP leaders that, look, this entire operation is a failure, or they would say that this entire delegation is a barat. But today what has happened is, despite the fact that Operation Sindhur has been such a decisive changing of the new norm, establishing of the new normal by the armed forces, everybody in the world has acknowledged that Indian military has struck Pakistan hard. There were voices in the country who were undermining the forces and saying that Operation Sindhur chutput hai, Operation Sindhur was a failure. Thereafter, when we did the diplomatic outreach, where there were multi-party members, the members of all political parties, Congress, Samajwadi Party, RJD, Aam Aadmi Party, everybody was there. They formed a delegation, they went to different parts of the world to expose Pakistan. That should have been a joint effort of the nation. We still saw people like Jairam Ramesh say that these MPs have achieved nothing, they are roaming around like terrorists. Just another statement has been made by Ajay Kumar. Dr. Ajay Kumar is one of the Congress party leaders. He said that all that this delegation did was play dress up. And they've just gone there to dress up and do a vacation and come back. So I think this kind of statement where you undermine your own MPs, you undermine your own armed forces just because you want to score a political point against Modi. Modi विरोध में, देश विरोध में उतर आना, सेना विरोध में उतर आना, this thing never happened before. there was always a Lakshmana Rekha, that beyond this we will not go because it hurts the national interest. Under Rahul Gandhi's leadership, it has become my interest above national interest. And therefore you've seen Rahul Gandhi, even when he's going abroad, many times he chooses foreign platforms to undermine India. He's actually said that India's democracy is over. Foreign powers must intervene into India. He has abused our constitutional institutions like Election Commission and Judiciary on foreign soil. So the world is praising our elections in Jammu Kashmir. And Rahul Gandhi, who's now the leader of opposition, and perhaps he thinks LOP means leader of Pakistan, not leader of opposition. But he goes and he articulates positions that undermines India's institutions. Forget about Modi or BJP. Is that liberty to abuse BJP abroad or abuse them here? But why go and undermine India and look at their own past track record? The irony is that you go and say that India's democratic institutions are suffering or are weakened, and you are the party of Indira Gandhi who imposed emergency. I mean, now in June 25, we will be completing 50 years of emergency. Emergency is the period where entire parliament was put in jail. Judiciary was told to be a committed judiciary. Supreme Court judges were changed and Chief Justice was made by overstepping certain judges, which never has happened before. Media was completely under the control of government, including what would be published would first be decided by the government. You put such kind of restrictions. You know, Kishore Kumar's songs were banned from All India Radio because he criticized the emergency. He was banned from All India Radio. You should read the reports that came out in the aftermath of the emergency and the kind of atrocities that were done on people. There was a Turkman Gate incident where hundreds and hundreds of people were forcibly sterilized, all Muslims, forcibly sterilized under the family planning program. Their houses were removed without any kind of, arrangement being made for them. Overnight, they were displaced. All of these excesses of emergency took place under your family's watch. You trampled upon the constitution. They say Samvidhan Bachao. Do you know that in Indira Gandhi's emergency period, they got in an amendment to the constitution where you couldn't challenge a law in court?
What do you mean?
The right to judicial review. Today, every law goes to the Supreme Court for review.
Yeah.
That's a basic thing. So Indira Gandhi curbed judicial review of the Supreme Court, of the courts of this country. She brought in an amendment whereby you could not judicially review a law. So this is the kind of, I would say, damage they were trying to do to the constitution. And these people then come and preach constitution. They preach democracy. Where is democracy within their own party first? Till date, please understand, all of these parties which say Samvidhan Bachao, correct? The BJP is formed in 1980. Today is 2025. If I tell you name 5 presidents of BJP, you will be easily able to tell. You will be able to tell me 10 presidents of the BJP. Nadda ji is currently the president. Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Advani, Jana Krishna Murthy, Bangaru Lakshman, Venkaiah Naidu. So many presidents over the last 45 years. Now in the last 45 years, how many presidents did Samajwadi Party have? Mulayam Singh Yadav and Akhilesh. One family, right? From wherever they are born. RJD, Lalu Prasad, Tejaswi, right? DMK from 1970s onwards, Karunanidhi, Stalin, and then now it will be the next generation Udaynidhi. Then you come to Congress, a majority of the period except this 1 or 2 years period or few years period of Khargeji, it has been Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi. What are they even talking about? There is no democracy in any of these parties. Even the new party that has been formed, Aam Aadmi Party, since birth to date, who is their national convener?
Clueless.
Arvind Kejriwal.
I know, but like...
Where was the election after Arvind Kejriwal has? Nobody else has kept... He lost the Delhi elections, but no election in Aam Aadmi Party. And BJP is the only institutional organization which every time to time has elections. Now, obviously, because of certain developments in the country, our process has been a little delayed, but we will have a new president in the coming few weeks or months or in this particular year. And then we will have a new person. It will not be Naddaji's son. It will not be Amit Shahji's son. It will not be son of XYZ leader. So this is the way our party is functioning. It's an institutional party which functions on constitutional values. None of it.
I can, as a viewer, ask you questions. For example, where are the Muslims, impactful Muslims in BJP?
The BJP has no impactful Muslims. The BJP has no impactful Hindus. The BJP has no impactful Christians. It has impactful Indians. The BJP doesn't go around looking at what is your identity. The BJP looks at something more important, M. Not M for Muslim, M for merit. The problem is that today the Congress has made Muslims a particular community that is living in this complex, that unless there are so many Muslims who are representing the Muslim community, only then they are secure and safe. If their identity issues are taken into consideration, only then they are secure and safe. Let's examine that. People ask, where are the Muslims in BJP, right? I ask a counter question. The Congress from 1950s to 2004, it was complete Congress rule, no BJP, no dominant BJP, at least at that point of time. We first time come into majority in 2014. How many percentage of Muslims were MPs in Congress at that time? The Congress party, did it ever make 15% Muslims MPs? Where were the Muslims then? When was the last time the Congress party has made a Muslim CM of a non-Muslim state? There's one non-Muslim, one Muslim state, which is Jammu Kashmir. So keep that aside. But apart from Jammu Kashmir, when is the last time the Congress party made a Muslim the chief minister, forget prime minister, chief minister of a non-Muslim state? When was the last time? In the 1980s. Antule was perhaps the last one in Maharashtra or somebody in Assam. Since the 1980s, Congress has not made any Muslim chief minister of any state other than Jammu Kashmir. So where is the Muslim representation? The Congress party talks about Muslims. I'll give you a specific example. So when the Congress talks about Muslims and space for Muslims, let's take a concrete example. Example of Gujarat and example of Bengal. In Bengal, there's never been a BJP government, right? There's only been Congress government, then a left government for 34 years, and now there's a TMC government from 2011 onwards. In Gujarat, on the other hand, from the 1990s, there has been a BJP government. Guess which state has the most poorest Muslims in the country? Bengal. Guess which state has the most educated, most financially included, and Muslims who do the best on all kinds of parameters of human index? Gujarat. So if Gujarat and BJP is so anti-Muslim, as the Congress would like to put it, how come Muslims are thriving much more financially, economically, educationally, socially in Gujarat, where they are 9% of the population, and not in Bengal, where they are 35% of the population? If you take another analysis, Gujarat has about 180 assembly seats, 182. The Congress party has never given 10% of the seats to Muslims, like, because it's 10% of the population, right?
I understand, yeah.
Has Congress party given 18 seats to Muslims in the last 20 years? No, it's not given. But they will point out to BJP and they will say BJP is to be blamed. The question should not be about whether BJP is giving a space to somebody because they are Muslim. That is a wrong way. That's a Jinnah way of thinking. The BJP should give space only to those people who are talented and meritorious, which it does, irrespective of whether you're a Muslim or you're an atheist or you're a Hindu or you're a Christian. The Congress party, however, tries to play this vote bank politics, and even in that, the Muslim community in India, 85% is the Pasmanda, the poorest of the poor Muslims. The Congress doesn't give them representation. The Congress only gives the top elite 15% representation, which is called the Sayyid community in the Muslims. All their Muslim leaders are from the Sayyid community, the 15% elites. Even when it talks about the caste census and caste, stratification, they talk about it in Hindus, right? They say कि हिंदू में पता चलना चाहिए कि कौन सी जाति से है. In the Muslim community, although there is no caste as such, but there is a huge section of backward Muslims who are called the Pasmandas and the forward Muslims who are called the Sayyids. Does the Congress party ever talk about identifying the backward among the Muslims and then focusing on them? The division is only done in the Hindu community. When it comes to the Muslim community, they want the entire Muslim community as a vote bank united for them.
That's pretty much happening in every country.
But that is
now,
not
isn't
that is not true, because Shias and Sunnis are fighting. There are many. Who's killing, for instance, the Shias in Pakistan? RSS, BJP. No, who's killing the Aga Khanis in Pakistan? Muslims. Why is there conflict between Saudi and Iran? They're both Muslim countries. Who's killing children in Yemen? It's definitely not BJP RSS. Why is there turmoil in Afghanistan? There's no BJP RSS there. So BJP RSS is not the problem, nor is BJP RSS anti-Muslim. BJP RSS is anti-appeasement. Yes, we do not want a situation where you say that the first right of resources belong to Muslims. That's wrong, because this country is governed by constitution. By the way, out of the 16 or 17 odd, or maybe even more, 18 odd highest civilian honors that Prime Minister Modi has got from all the countries in the world, 7 have come from Muslim-dominated, populated nations. And which countries? Saudi Arabia, which is the most pious for all Muslims because Mecca, Medina is there. Egypt, country which is considered to be a center of Muslim intellectual thoughts, right? The Cairo University. Bahrain, UAE, these are very prosperous Muslim nations. Palestine, which is supposed to be the most emotional issue for Muslims across the world apparently. Afghanistan, which is supposed to be a very orthodox Muslim nation. All of these nations, without exception, have given Prime Minister Modi their highest civilian honor. Is it because he's anti-Muslim? Are you saying that Saudi Arabia is anti-Muslim?
I hear.
So it is actually the Congress which has always been anti-Muslim, and it only uses these emotional issues. Have you ever seen Congress talk about issues that actually matter to the Muslim community? For instance, what will they talk about? Rahul Gandhi went and attended a program in JNU which was around Afzal being not given a fair treatment. Afzal was convicted by the Supreme Court, Afzal Guru, the terrorist. His leaders will go and crib that Yaqub Memon, another terrorist, was given the punishment, the capital punishment by Supreme Court. His leaders will write letters for that. The Congress party will say that UCC should not come because that will be an impingement on the Muslim personal law, Uniform Civil Code. Yet, it was the same Congress party that implemented UCC, whether it was in the constitution or whether it was in Goa or whether it is the Uniform Criminal Code. Criminal Code is uniform. There's no separate criminal code for Muslims and for Hindus. But they will oppose UCC, even though it is important from the point of view of gender empowerment. But have you ever seen Congress party take up an issue about why Veer Abdul Hamid was forgotten, this person who fought the Indo-Pak war and gave the ultimate sacrifice? Did they ever care about giving honor to Veer Abdul Hamid? Modi ji named an island after Veer Abdul Hamid. Who's our Paramveer Chakra winner, awardee against Pakistan. Ustad Bismillah Khan, Shehnai maestro. Guess who gave him a Bharat Ratna? Vajpayee government. Who made APJ Abdul Kalam the President of India? And who opposed it? NDA government made him. UPA had opposed him. APJ Abdul Kalam. Arguably the most, I would say, the most popular Indian Muslim in the world even today, and the most revered by all. Even recently, if you see the list of Padma awardees, you will find so many Muslims who have been sidelined despite doing great work at the grassroots level, whether it's in culture, whether it's in field of social service. All of them have been recognized by the Modi government. And guess who increased the budget of the Minority Affairs Department? Modi ji. Guess who doubled the budget of Aligarh Muslim University? Modi ji. Guess who ensured that not 1 lakh but 2 lakh people could go to Hajj? Modi ji. Guess who ensured that Muslim women don't need to take mehram? Mehram means a companion to Hajj. Modi ji. This is the reality of the situation. Guess when the girl dropout rate for Muslim girls fell from 70% in schools to 30%? Modi ji. But Modi is anti-Muslim because Modi will not play appeasement politics. Modi will say that constitution first, not Sharia first, which even I say. I say Samvidhan first, not Sharia
Definitely, 100 in any country. If I had to ask you, top 5 myths, bust them.
first. Okay.
BJP. Or people who are conservative thinkers. Or people like you who seemingly come from another color and now supporting this.
So let me address
myths.
5 myths. Okay. So the first one is that everybody says that BJP is run by 2 people. It's not. Actually, that's the biggest myth that the media would like to project. That number 1, number 2. Yes, we of course revere our leaders. Modi ji is the leader of our party, and Amit Shah ji is also a very important leader of our party. Party president is Nadda ji, but the party is run in a very institutional manner. So let me give you one small example of it. As far as deciding tickets are concerned, who will fight the election, right? That is the most important thing in a party. That decision doesn't begin at Modi ji's office or Amit Shah ji's office or Nadda ji's office. That decision begins at the grassroots. For instance, they will ask the local committee that, okay, for this upcoming election, please do the survey, please do the reconnaissance, give us the 4,
Most
5, 6
impactful personalities
or names. So everyone is entitled to pitch in their hat. Then it will go one step higher at the state level. Then it will go one step higher at the national level. Then it will come at the election committee body. Then it will go to the parliamentary body. And their parliamentary body will be the first place where Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, Nadda ji, all of them will have some say in the ticket of that person. And that is how the decision is taken in a democratic institutional manner. So because there is lack of indiscipline, people project that as, oh, there is no democracy in BJP. BJP is very democratic.
I understand.
I can also, I'll give you a personal example. Supposing there's a point of view in the party about a certain issue. I don't agree with it. I can take time from my party head and I can go and discuss and convince that person that, look, this is the stand we should take, or this is the position we should take, and maybe we should have a larger conversation in the party. And the party will have a conversation if the party feels that, okay, time has come to change the position on this issue or to relook or to re-nuance it or re-articulate it, then it will do that also. It's not a closed door system. It is a conversational system. Of course, you have to be within your party structure.
Parameters.
You can't go, and if I go and start giving media soundbite that no, the BJP should do this, then that is indiscipline.
Understand.
So there is conversation and there is institutional decision making. So that's myth number 1. It's not a 2-person run party. Yes, we've always had 2 people like Ram Lakshman ki jodi, like Vajpayee Advani ji was there. So obviously that BJP is not an anti-Muslim party at all. In fact, BJP is I would say, it puts such a premium on merit that it will not see which class, caste, background, religion you belong to. If you deliver, the BJP will say, this job is yours because you can do it best.
I have a leading question to that.
Yeah.
In which instance has it practiced that, even at the cost of losing maybe a few votes or some kind of a leverage somewhere?
I don't think is it necessary that we would have lost some votes because of the decision?
No. Just like where it has.
I'll give you an example. I mean, obviously, when they field me, the obvious question is that there are many people in the BJP, but the BJP spokespersons are also quite a few. But I think out of the prominent spokespersons who are appearing or getting a lot of television time, I perhaps am one of them after, say, Sudhanshu ji and Gaurav and Sambit Patra ji. So that in itself should say the BJP, if it was so anti-Muslim, why would it have a Shehzad Poonawalla articulate position for its government or for the party? So that is one example. It's because one is talented or one is seen as meritorious, one gets the job.
Or doing a good job at
it. Yeah,
it,
exactly.
However you say it.
So the BJP only looks at what is meritorious. It doesn't look at caste, community, etc. Another example of this would be, for instance, it's not directly an example of the BJP, but look, for instance, we've got competent people running our governments also, in the government also. Jai Shankar ji, for instance, or Ashwini Vaishnav ji, or many other people who didn't have just because a certain political background as such, but they have been given that position, that place, because they come with a lot of background experience on that.
Vertical expertise.
Exactly.
Perhaps.
So if the BJP was only calculating on the basis of identity and basis of who brings in how much vote based on caste or on based on some other factor, then you would never find such people getting such prominent place in the government or in a party structure. You tell me the myth, I'll tell you the answer to it, because I think these are the two myths
good
that...
way of doing this.
I think the third myth would be that BJP is not democratic, or BJP. I mean, that's covered in the first part, but BJP is not a liberal party, or BJP is somehow considered to be conservative in that sense.
Fascists.
Yeah, fascist. I think the BJP's positions are actually, if you see them, they are very progressive on many fronts. In fact, it is the Congress which has lost out on being a progressive party. For instance, on hijab, Congress party bats for hijab, Muslim women to wear hijab even in classrooms, while the BJP has no problem with what women want to wear, and that's their choice entirely. But inside a classroom, and Congress says that no, hijab should be compulsory, should be allowed in the classroom. So isn't that a disservice to the children from the Muslim community, that you are saying that then those schools which don't allow hijab inside the classroom, Muslim children should not go there to be educated if they are good schools? They should only be restricted to a madrasa. Secondly, in the same continuation, should somebody have a right to divorce somebody by just saying talaq, talaq, talaq? Now, Hindu laws were reformed in the 1950s. You championed those reforms, Congress party. But Muslim law should not be reformed, even though the triple talaq is not being followed by any country in the world, any Muslim country.
Only here.
But in India, when the Supreme Court says that this triple talaq business won't do, and there has to be a law to curb it, and there has to be some restriction there. Congress is liberal after allying with Furfura Sharif, like a cleric. And BJP is not liberal, despite taking progressive positions, both on education of minorities or on rights of minorities. So that is a third myth. These are the three big myths, I think, that go around in the media. Anti-Muslim, non-progressive, and undemocratic, dictatorial. So I think these are the three myths. I mean, if there are two more myths that you can kind of identify, then I'll be happy to
yes.
dispel them.
Yes, you've caught me a little bit on there. Your recent understanding of Indian media's response.
Oh, one more myth. Now that I've remembered, let me just...
Myth
there are
number
two myths. There are
Two
two
more
myths.
myths.
So there are two more myths. Let me just address them. The newest myth is, and which Rahul Gandhi has been suddenly tutored to say, is that the BJP somehow is against the OBCs, OBC community. And the Congress party is a big champion of the OBCs. There is nothing more further from the truth than that. By the way, the BJP is the only party which has given this country an OBC Prime Minister who completed his tenure. Not once, not twice now, and he's gone to his third tenure. His name is Narendra Modi. The Congress, till date, has not made any OBC the Prime Minister of this country. The Congress till date, by the way, when they talk about caste census, till 1931, India had a caste census. In 1950s, it was stopped by whom? Nehruji. In 1960, Nehru wrote a letter to the chief ministers of the state saying that I'm against reservation. Forget caste census, he's against reservation, saying that reservation creates second-class citizens. Reservation, which Ambedkar ji has enshrined in the constitution. In the 1970s and 80s, there was the Mandal committee report that came out, which basically went that reservation should go beyond SC/ST and should go to the OBC community also, to certain sections which are backward based on their castes and other parameters. It was a Janta government, means basically the earlier avatar of the BJP, that actually put in place the Mandal committee. The Mandal report came in 1980. Indira Gandhi did not implement it till 84. Then she passed away. Rajiv Gandhi came to power, he said that I will not implement this because it will divide the country. And his view on reservation was that only Buddhus get reservation. So basically anybody who's got reservation is a Buddhu according to Rajiv Gandhi. And in 2004 to 14 again, the Congress party was busy trying to cut the OBC reservation and give chunks of it away to Muslims on the basis of religion. Now, religion-based reservation is a no-go zone in our constitution. So it's completely unconstitutional and what Ambedkar ji would not like. On the other hand, the BJP, which is called to be an anti-OBC, anti-reservation party, has ensured our last president was Kovind ji, who's from the SC community. Our current president, the first president, is from the tribal community, from the female from the tribal community.
From my district, Mayurbhanj.
Exactly, Mayurbhanj, Odisha. By the way, if you see the history of BJP and the Congress, BJP is a party which is from last 45 years and Congress has a longer itihas. BJP has made at least 30 to 35% of its CMs as who are OBCs. So for instance, Modi ji became CM in 2001, right? OBC. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, OBC. Babulal Gaur, OBC. Kalyan Singh in Uttar Pradesh, OBC. Uma Bharti, OBC. Nayab Saini currently Haryana Chief Minister, OBC. Our Chief Minister in Odisha and our Chief Minister in Chhattisgarh, they are from the tribal community, Manji ji and Vishnu Dev Sai ji. The BJP has made more people from the subaltern community, as political scientists would put it, than the Congress has. And yet the Congress today is claiming to be the great champion and BJP is supposed to be anti-OBC after having an OBC as the Prime Minister. So this is the myth number 4, that we are against the OBCs or we are against caste census or Samajik Nyaya, etc. And do you know who supported Ambedkar ji? Take a wild guess. The RSS. In his election, a person called Dattopan Thengadi, an RSS Karyakarta, was his campaign manager. And yet, we are anti-Ambedkar, we are anti-OBC, and they are champions of OBC. They used to abuse Ambedkar ji, the left and the Congress. If you go into history and you read what they have written about Ambedkar ji, they used to call him an imperialist stooge. They used to call him anti-India. They used to call him a friend of the British. This is the language they've used for him.
I didn't read anything largely positive in my history books either.
Yeah.
I can't recall that.
No, I mean, of course, because they then wanted to play vote bank politics, they have now tried to appropriate Ambedkar ji. But if you go and read Ambedkar ji's teaching, writings, and even Kanshiram ji's writings on the Congress, you will realize how anti-SC, ST, OBC the Congress has been. But yet the allegation is that, you know.
Operation Sindhur was impactful. We are proud nationalists. We'll support India, even if it is wrong. That's the whole point, but it isn't. How do you think the opposing media handled it? Or people who weren't really voting for that whole conflict? I don't know how to frame it. You answer, you know what it is.
Look, so what the Indian armed forces have achieved this time is something that needs to be recognized. When Prime Minister Modi says that a new normal has been established, actually a new normal has been established. Never before in the history of the world has one nuclear power gone into another nuclear powered state and hit not just 9 terrorist camps but 11 military bases. Actually there are much more. Pakistan has said more bases were hit. But having said that, let's admit that at least these 9 plus 11, 20 targets were hit. Now this is unprecedented, because if you see in most other conflicts, the other country is not a nuclear power. Pakistan is a nuclear power. To do that in a nuclear power, ghus ke marna, is something that is unprecedented. That's why we've said that no longer is the nuclear bluff working now for Pakistan. Now, how can Prime Minister surrender and the Indian Armed Forces deliver a victory? Either the Indian Armed Forces have achieved their task successfully, and that means India has won or India has come up on tops, or else the Indian Armed Forces haven't achieved it and that's why you feel India surrendered. Both situations can't coexist.
Correct.
Or some of them are saying that, oh look, Trump called and then there was a ceasefire. But Trump is finding it difficult to have a ceasefire with Elon Musk. That's a whole different issue. But the fact of the matter is that even the armed forces have said that it was the Pakistani DGMO that called us. There was no third party intervention. It's been articulated not just by the DGMO and the ME of India, but also by Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari and Salman Khurshid, I call them SMS, even they have kind of, sent their message to all and sundry. The Chinese missiles, the Chinese radars, their technology wasn't as effective. And their market has completely collapsed. And obviously there are some people who have tied vested interests with the Chinese, businesses. And perhaps that is why they are trying to amplify the Chinese position or the Pakistani position and undermine the Indian position for political and for certain extra, I would say, vested interests. So that is why certain sections are amplifying these allegations, which the Congress or other parties, like not just the Congress but even the other parties, are making.
Would it be one advice, read up or read down, because headline game में सब कुछ उड़ जाता है.
Yeah, I guess, people have to see what's actually being communicated behind this. So I guess the agenda, most news today is more of agenda driven. So I guess that is also, you have to see the agenda behind the headlines.
There was a recent article, and a few articles I read, which said the AI which is coming in now, absolutely powerful for news dissemination. You're captioning from it, you're giving credits through it, you're creating visuals with it. It is left coded, they say. Is it a fact or not? It's left leaning, as they say.
Well, look, these are things that only those people who control the algorithms or know more about that can come to a definitive conclusion. But the anecdotal evidence seems to suggest that there has been a bias in favor of certain narratives which are left leaning, getting more amplification, getting more space, getting more play, and in the ecosystem of social media, until Elon Musk stepped in and took some corrective measures as far as X is concerned. But we don't see that happening, that fair play happening in other platforms yet. And we do see that certain right-wingers or people who are associated with the right wing or who take a certain political or other position, we often see that their YouTube videos are demonetized. Ajit Bharti, for instance, there are many people on the right side for not using even abusive words or cuss words, or even if they are making things which are based on facts, their videos are not amplified enough. And whereas certain people like a Dhruv Rathi or people belonging to that ecosystem get a lot of amplification. And that has been the case, that has been admitted to even in America. Certain social media platforms have admitted in their testimonies to Congress that certain narratives have got more play than others, or certain narratives have been deliberately politically curtailed over others. So when you do that, then you're not an equal platform, then you're playing the role of a super editor. But in India now, we have tried to address that situation
I wanted to
by bringing in certain guidelines, where we've said that either the platform, social media platforms have this immunity from criminal prosecution, because they can take a stand that, look, we are a platform, we don't know if somebody misuses our platform, posts something. They can only get that immunity provided they are playing the role of a neutral platform. But if they start playing super editor, or they start censoring one content and not the other, or they take a decision that they will act on one set of comments or contents but not on the other, then you don't become a fair platform. You become like a editor who's taking editorial decisions. And hopefully in the times to come, just like they have to be neutral in other jurisdictions like America and Europe, they'll have to apply that in India as well. They won't get to determine on the basis of their platform what political decisions we make, right? They can't say that I will amplify X party's views and I will curb Y party's views. Obviously then it will give X party an advantage. But then you're not a platform. Then you become a political player. And that's not allowed.
You are abetting in whatever.
Yeah, you're becoming a partisan voice, saying that, look, these people are spreading hate speech. Now, hate speech, according to you, is what XYZ has said. But you won't remove what ABC is saying, which is also hate speech. Then you're taking a political, ideological position. Then you will be held accountable if you don't take action as per Indian law.
For recent happenings at the border, any surprising reactions from our large opposition, which kind of went the united way for India? Did that happen?
Yes, of course. I think barring just a few people who for their own political vested interests have been undermining the Indian armed forces by using, very childish juvenile terms like surrender or failure, or comparing our MPs with terrorists, or saying chut put like Khadgeji has said. Barring a few of these, which are literally about 10 or 15 of them, I think by and large the opposition members have demonstrated a lot of maturity. Therefore, you see, one of the most good things that have come out from all of this is the way position of India has been articulated, say by a Shashi Tharoor,
yeah.
or by a Manish Tiwari, or by other opposition MPs, including Priyanka Chaturvedi or Rajiv Rai and others who have gone abroad. So I think some of them did manage to put national interest above their own partisan interest, but some people have not done that, and they've done that deliberately. It's because they are very clear that for them, scoring a point against Modi is more important than
National
India being put ahead. Let me give you an example. Just 2 days ago, you must have seen that we got the G7 invite from Canada, right?
Correct.
In fact, the Canadian Prime Minister and the leader of opposition there both have articulated why India needs to be in the G7. Yet, just a day before that, the Congress did an entire press conference saying that G7 invite नहीं आया, विदेश नीति विफल है. G7 का invite नहीं आया. So if G7 invite hasn't come, for them our entire foreign policy is a failure. By the way, the G7 has been on since 1975. We got our first invite in 2003 under Vajpayee. So were all those governments failures? And in 2010 to 14, Manmohan Singh got no G7 invite between these 4 years.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I
didn't get
don't
any
know
invite.
that.
2010 it was, by the way, in Canada only. So Canada had not invited, or the G7 had not invited India when the G7 was held in 2010. So how does the Congress party or these opposition parties say all this? Even if, but the G7 invite did come, so they had egg on their face. But having said that, just to score a small point against ABC political personality, you are trying to undermine India. You go say India's institutions are not working, India's judiciary is not working, India's election commission is biased. You say this on foreign soil just because you want to make a personality look bad. I think that is a worry, and it's a tragedy. I don't know, the people will address it.
Okay, so I have a few questions from people that I know. Tushar from Gurgaon has a question. Critics say you're more active on primetime debates than on ground. Do you think performance of a spokesperson today outweighs the actual groundwork of a politician, or
is he implying that the BJP is more active on television and less active on the ground?
just
Is that
general
the implication?
spokesperson? As
My job is to be active on television as opposed to be active on the ground.
Correct.
People who fight elections or who have been given responsibility like leading a state unit or a city unit, district unit, or a block unit, they are more active on the ground. My job is primarily to interact and engage with the national or the state or the television, print, digital media. That in itself is an important task. But having said that, just to address Tushar from Gurugram, he would know better than most that we won Haryana elections for the 3rd time in a row. Yeah, it's unprecedented. We got more seats than we got in the last 2 elections.
जो मिठाई distribute होने के बाद हुआ था,
which I distributed jalebis. So the point is that if the BJP or BJP leaders were not active on the ground, then we would not be winning election after election. Let me give you a quick fact on that. I know you don't like so many facts, but let me give you a fact. The BJP, apart from repeating its government for the 3rd time in the center, 14, 19, 24, apart from that, the BJP has repeated governments in Haryana, 3rd time, Maharashtra, 3rd time, Gujarat, 7th or 8th time, Madhya Pradesh, 5, 6 times, more than that maybe, Assam, 2 times, Tripura, 2 times. We've come back to power in Delhi after a long period of time. We've repeated governments in several parts, Goa 3 times. So we've repeated governments over and over again, and the Congress party has not been able to repeat. I mean, I'm saying that you win an election and then you repeat a government. It's not been able to repeat its government in any state since 2011. So it may win an election, say it won an election in Himachal, won an election in Telangana and Karnataka, but it's not been able to retain that state for more than 5 years. Whereas we've run governments for 15, 20, 25 years in various states. That means that it's not just what we are saying in television, it's also the work on the ground that is happening, that people are experiencing, and therefore they are voting for us even after 5 years of being in power.
True that. Personally speaking, you coming from Congress to BJP has historically been questioned. You have taken your principles, principally sound, principally agreed to something more than the other. A lot of them said, oh, maybe it's vindictive, it's just being vindictive. I don't think so, because when I watch you, that kind of debate doesn't come from vindication. That kind of debate comes from conviction. Your personal journey in short to date.
Just to address the point that Abdullah is getting at, has Abdullah or people like Abdullah only voted for one party in their life, like right from 18 to whatever age they are? I'm sure you should, but I'm sure that there are a lot of Abdullahs and others who have voted for different parties. There are many people who used to vote for Congress once upon a time. They vote for BJP today. It doesn't mean that they have a different position. Perhaps the BJP is articulating their position better than what the Congress can. So maybe Abdullah needs to reorient his glasses and perhaps realize that it's not about somebody when they change their party or their political preference. It's not necessarily because they found a convenient spot. It's perhaps because whatever was being represented by the party of their original choice is no longer representing those values. Maybe Abdullah should go and recheck. If the Congress stands for those values for which people brought them to power in so many years.
Excellent
The
point.
Congress has changed, not me. You see, Congress has made a switch.
It's a perspective.
So, it's not a perspective, it is a fact. Let me give you an example. You know, a long time ago, Congress's chin, the symbol, used to be the guy and the bachada. Right? Correct?
Correct.
Today, would you associate Congress with saving of cow? No.
Not particularly, no.
Who would you,
No.
who would you associate it with? BJP.
BJP.
Right? Congress's core issue of Mahatma Gandhi used to say that Gaur Seva should be done. He was against cattle slaughter. Mahatma Gandhi used to say Ram Rajya. Who's against the existence of Prabhu Shri Ram? Congress. Who's with Prabhu Shri Ram and Ram Mandir ka pran pratishtha happened? The BJP. Who has, Mahatma Gandhi used to say, I'm a proud Hindu. Who says that Hindutva is dangerous for this country? Who's abusing Hindutva? Congress. Who says we are proud of our Hindutva and who's working for Hindutva, which is all encompassing as per the Supreme Court, the BJP. So in fact, the BJP is articulating positions of Mahatma Gandhi more. So maybe Abdullah ji should see that Gandhiji's values are being espoused by us more. Therefore, Shehzad is in BJP, no longer in Congress. Congress badal gayi. Shehzad wahi raha.
Abdullah has another question.
Yes.
In the future, how will India ensure that no influential individual can evade responsibility by playing political victims, of which we all know about?
Well, you see, first of all, if he is alluding to Vijay Mallya, and by the way, Vijay Mallya has been given a great PR platform by another podcaster whose, incidentally, whose name has the words SHAM. And then there is ANI, Shamani, his name, full name. So then there is Sham and there's... So anyways, just to break that up, that some podcasters live up to their name. Having said that, I think that Vijay Mallya siphoned off money from banks of this country while the UPA was in power. So essentially, UPA was the loan giver. And letters were written to finance ministers like Chidambaram, who willingly obliged to open up the state bank coffers and give money to Vijay Mallya, even though his business wasn't doing well. I remember there was a press conference in which Manmohan Singh, in an Air India flight, said that we have to save Kingfisher. I don't remember any Prime Minister saying this for any company. Would you? I mean, what would happen if Prime Minister Modi was to say for one of these companies which they keep targeting?
Bawal ho jata.
Bawal ho jata. But Manmohan Singh has actually said we have to save Kingfisher. Why? I don't understand. Anyways, so they used to, we had given loans. All the loans that were given in this country up to 2008 were about 18 lakh crores. And between 2008 to 2014, double of those loans were given by banks. So obviously they were given without basic checks and the NPAs skyrocketed. When Modi ji came in, he started clearing this entire process. Today the public sector banks are in a 1 lakh crore profit. NPAs, the non-performing assets, are at a record low, and Vijay Mallya himself has admitted in that podcast with SHAM, Ani Shamani, that he was owing the banks about 6,000, 7,000 crores or 8,000 crores, and we have recovered 14,000 crores. So is the case with the other defaulters. All of them, by the way, defaulted and took these loans during the Congress tenure. So they were giving phone a loan loans, and Modi ji has been like a loan recovery agent. So he's been basically putting his hand on their neck and getting them to pay back. Let me give you an important disclosure, which nobody knows. I have said it once, but it's time to reiterate it. Nirav Modi is very close to Rahul Gandhi, by the way. Rahul Gandhi was at Nirav Modi's party, and I'm challenging Rahul Gandhi. Deny it if I'm lying. It was an Imperial Hotel. It was a party organized for Nirav's some launch of some jewelry or something that he had created, and Rahul Gandhi had come there to his party. And this was the time when Nirav Modi was being given all kinds of loans, bypassing the red flags that were being put that Nirav Modi should not be given these loans. If Rahul Gandhi comes to your party, you think any of these public sector banks under the UPA would not have given you loans? So I challenge Rahul Gandhi, come and deny the fact that you had not met Nirav Modi at that party. It was in Delhi, in Imperial Hotel. So this is how they used to give all their cronies loans from public sector banks. And then now the loans are being recovered back, and the blame is on us. We've recovered the money, the blame is on BJP. Perhaps that's the fifth myth. And those who have given the loans are saying that we wanted. In fact, Rahul Gandhi's close aide, a guy called Abhay Thipse, who was a judge who was taken in the party by Rahul Gandhi, fought case for Nirav Modi against his extradition, against the Indian government. He's still in the Congress party.
Okay.
So these are facts.
These are facts.
Yeah.
While we're sitting, last question.
Yes.
For keeping your time under a
And
busy
for
man.
Abdullah, yeah.
And for Abdullah.
Yeah.
The international response to India, to supporting India, used to be fairly blunt. It was buffered, it was indirect, it was not, I'm talking early in the days, if we were ever in seeking international support. It has significantly changed under BJP. They openly support India, or they take a stand. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I think that is obviously a function of our growing strength as a country, both in terms of economy and in terms of the kind of positioning we have in the world right now. And therefore, when you are a fragile five economy, when your entire nation is caught up in policy paralysis, when the only stories that are emanating out of the country are आज इतना करोड़ का स्कैम हुआ, आज उतने करोड़ का स्कैम हुआ, then obviously the global acceptance for you declines. But ever since Modi ji has come, today we are seeing that the stories are not about scam हुआ इंडिया में या ऐसा ही होता है, it is ऐसा भी होता है. It is about startup India. We have gone to now the fastest growing large economy in the world. We'll become the third largest economy in the world. We have seen huge development as far as infrastructure is concerned, whether it's building of highways, metros, railways or airports. We are seeing a huge leapfrog being made as far as manufacturing is concerned. So our power is increasing. And we have now been able to leverage that along with Prime Minister's personal chemistry and rapport with world leaders. So we have now come in a unique position. Think of this. Can the American president, who's Donald Trump at this point of time, he can speak to Zelensky. Can he speak to Putin all the time? Not really. I mean, he would be comfortable with Ukraine, or the West would be comfortable with Ukraine, not necessarily with Russia, right? China would be more comfortable with Russia. India can speak to both Putin and Zelensky. Americans can speak to, or the West can speak to Israel. Can they speak as freely to the Middle East? India stands with Israel when Hamas attacks, but we also articulate our position on Palestine, and we are having great relations with West Asia, particularly if you see with the Gulf nations, with Saudi, with UAE. In fact, a mandir has been inaugurated in UAE. When was the last time?
I read somewhere, yes.
So, India is in the Quad, which is essentially Japan, Australia, America, India. And India is also in the SCO, which is a bloc of Eastern countries. India buys the S-400 system, which was useful in our entire Operation Sindhur from Russia, and America did not sanction us. America usually sanctions people or countries when they take this kind of equipment from Russia. We bought Russian oil from Russia, yet we didn't face any sanctions. And Americans were willing to sell us Predator drones, which are drones they only sell to NATO nations, which are part of the NATO alliance. We are the only non-NATO country to actually be sold those drones. So we are in a sweet spot in India right now, where we can talk to all kinds, and we had the G20,
Correct.
which we led, and we were able to articulate the position of the global south, the African Union. So I think India is now seen as a country which is not non-aligned under Nehru, it's all aligned. From
Very
non-aligned
nice.
to all aligned. So I think this is the power of India that the world is recognizing, we are leveraging. And therefore, in the 1970s, 71, when Bangladesh was created, at that time, all countries, about 100 countries had brought a resolution against us in United Nations. Russia had saved us by its veto power. Today, barring one or two countries, let's say a Turkey or a China or an Azerbaijan, for their own vested interests, nobody's standing with Pakistan. There's no resolution against us. In fact, a majority of the countries stand with our position in Pahalgam. And we have been able to expose Pakistan on the diplomatic front completely and isolated.
Completely, yes.
So I think that is the difference between the position then and the position now. And I think that is a reflection of both India's strength and also of the leadership we have.
Last question. Why should true Muslims not oppose UCC?
Because Islam is not a religion that is against the rights of women or women empowerment. And therefore, a true Muslim should be open to the idea of gender empowerment, because that is what Islam is essentially about. But the problem is that those who are opposing UCC are relying on their version of an Islam which is very convenient for them. They say that it's in Sharia. There's no book of Sharia, by the way. Sharia is interpretation of the Quran, Holy Quran. There's no one book of Sharia that they can say that this is the book, and Now, if in the Sharia, interference in Muslim law is supposed to be against Islam, then why have a uniform criminal code? So there, I'll tell you why. Because if there was Sharia implemented in criminal code, then if an Abdullah was caught stealing, his hands would be chopped off. Ravi would go to jail, but Abdullah's hands would be chopped off. Now, Abdullah doesn't want his hands to be chopped off, so he's happy with the uniform criminal code. But Abdullah definitely wants all the rights which are juxtaposed in his position in favor of males in the civil code of the personal laws. And therefore, there he does not want uniformity. There he wants personal law, where the laws are predominantly male-oriented. But where it comes to my hands being chopped off, then I don't want Sharia.
Of convenience.
So, those who interpret Islam through the lens of convenience, as you rightly put it, are the ones who are opposing UCC. Those who interpret Islam the way it should be interpreted should not oppose the UCC.
Beautifully put. It was so nice
you.
speaking to Shehzad, and
Thank you.
I wish to speak to you again next year.
Hopefully.
Thank you
soon.
so much.
Thank you.
For content beyond politics, for content beyond Bollywood, for content beyond beauty, I'm sure there are a lot of us who like content which is historic, which delves into interesting stories, and also makes average people stars. You're welcome in Shweta's Talkies. Please subscribe, love, and share, and please comment. See you.